Welcome to Taurus Trax, what the guide carries. In fact, I'll carry this amount of gear all the time I ride. Carry it more even when I'm riding with a group, depending on what bikes they're using. Okay. Start off with the pack that I carried in. Kariga, I think, is some of the best gear you can actually buy now. These are fantastic packs, waterproof zips on them. This is 3 years old, this pack. I use it probably every other day and it's still going strong. Special strap system that works putting the weight on your chest rather than on your arms. Fantastic bit of gear. Drink, obviously you got to carry water. Camelback, one of the best systems you can buy. Loads of different ones around these days. Zip ties, speaks for itself, but I carry these big heavy ones because they're good for splinting legs and arms and stuff like that, and they'll hold on a subframe as well. Okay, next up is Bushman saw. Now this is for, you can make splints with this, you know, sawing down a little bit of a tree or whatever, and you can also cut your way through a difficult section. I ride off the map sometimes, and I need to be able to do that. Combination tool, everybody carries these things these days, got all sorts of stuff on it, and Allen keys as well. I carry this in my pocket, keep that in my pocket in case I get separated from my bits and pieces. Glasses, if you need them for working up close on the bike, then you must carry them. Another important piece of kit, head torch, must be reliable. This is a rechargeable one, and very powerful, so that if I lose the lights, we're coming back in the dark, I lose the light on one of the bikes, I can actually wear this and ride that bike. Front tube, always carry a front tube, okay, so the front tube will fit front or back, and I normally, if you've got 5 or 6 bikes, and I'll carry 5 or 6 tubes, because I've had up to 9 punches in one day, so make sure you've got enough to cover it. Mending punches on the trail is probably not an option. Next thing, Swiss Army knife, never be without a Swiss Army knife. And of course, after watching the film, I think it was called 127 Hours, where the guy has to cut off his own arm, I always make sure it's sharp as well. To blow up the tubes, obviously you've got to have some sort of pump. This is a double action pump with, so it's high pressure pump, and also, so you can pump it up normally, okay, and then to finish off, pop it out on the rim. Got canisters to actually pop it out on the rim, that's what I do. Canister for a 2-stroke oil, this holds enough for 5 litres, so I always carry that. You can't always get 2-stroke oil wherever you stop for petrol. These things are more or less, I carry these for tuning and electric effects. If I get, I'm forever changing the jetton on this bike, so I carry these bits and pieces, but we can ignore that for now. KTM tools, I mean, whatever you're riding, Yamaha, Honda, whatever, you need to have a range of tools to be able to work on the bike. These are, KTM come with really good tools, real good little socket sets, and Torx. I always carry one of the Torx because the subframe is bolted on with the Torx, so you've got to be able to do them up if they come undone, or to strip it off and straighten it out. I've had them bent so badly sometimes we've had to take them off. This is more of a homemade tool, and I can use this to take off the both wheels, okay, front and rear axles, and obviously the 10 on here is for the bottom fork clamps. The lever that I use to slot this onto, I carry on the bike inside the airbox, strapped up inside there. Just means a little bit less weight for me to carry. Okay, this is a valve taker outer. You need that quite often, you know, just to actually let a tyre down after you've pumped it up. Perhaps it hasn't gone to the rim properly, so I have a valve taker outer there. Another tool that I've made, okay, is an adjustable, and I've ground off the top here so that it goes into places a lot easier, and then I put a ratchet ring on the other end. This is for rim locks, to take rim locks off quicker. Because like I say, if you get 9 punches in a day, you need to be able to do them pretty quickly. Nice handy tool here. This is a mountain bike tool. Got various ends to it, Phillips straight screwdriver, and various Allen keys on it, and they get in around the bike. I particularly like this tool because it's you know, fully adjustable. 2 levers, they go into the lever that's fitted into the airbox, so I can take off and I can remove the wheel with that, no problem at all. Spanners, well, they might be a bit overkill with the adjustable as well, but 8mm spanner I find is best for when I'm bleeding the bikes. On 4 strokes it's easier to bleed them with this, and a 10 and a 13 obviously for adjusting the chain should that need to be done. Alright, coming along here, spare levers. Quite often I'll carry 6 of these, these fit this bike, and then you have older models and newer models and different models in Yamahas and God knows what else. So you need to carry spare levers for them. Saying that, if you have good guards, I use the best guards I can possibly get hold of, which are these Syra things, and they actually to save the levers. I very rarely bend levers now. In fact, I haven't bent a lever for so long I can't remember. Spare link. Right, this is a spare link. Always carry that, and I normally carry that up on top of the cable there and fasten to the cable with a zip tie. But I always carry that. Sometimes I have to carry 2 or 3 of them because of different types of chain. Epoxy stick. Okay, this is 2-part epoxy stick so that you can actually repair broken cases, clutch covers or whatever. I run my bikes with high protection so they don't get damaged that often, but as a guide you have to take into account other people's bikes as well. This stuff you mix together, it goes hard as hell. As long as you clean it up, you can do a real good repair job. Spare plug in a waterproof cover. Okay, goes without saying, although I've never had a plug let me down, not for the last 30 years anyway. Plugs are so good these days. 2-part Araldite epoxy glue. Okay, this is the 5-minute stuff. It's actually brilliant. Okay, it does go off in 5 minutes, and it's nearly as good as the normal stuff. Couple of fuses there. Most bikes have electric starts on now, and fuses in the system. Tape. Okay, insulation tape and masking tape for all sorts of things. Okay, even for first aid and repairing the bike. This comes in handy. Bits of tube. I always carry bits of tube for replacing. There's all sorts of ways you can damage tube out on the track, and you never really find out that it's split on a Jubilee clip until you're out on the middle of the moor somewhere, and then you need to repair it. So I always carry some bits of tube and various pipe clips, various nuts and bolts, spare springs, whatever. I find these days that bolts don't come undone very often anyway. Another thing handy to carry, a ratchet strap. You can use this for towing, okay, or you can use it for strapping on an exhaust that's hanging off, or you can use it for towing somebody up, or maybe splitting somebody's leg. Okay, very powerful, good bit of kit to carry along. A bit of rag, okay, for obviously cleaning up the goggles or whatever you want to do. Carry all this stuff inside these 2 packs, and then they go into the bottom of my rucksack, right out the way. Right, so that's about it as far as the tools are concerned. You can carry more or less, but you need to have a range of tools. I'm a bit paranoid when working on bikes, so I end up, because of guiding, I end up carrying maybe too many tools, but I'd rather have too many tools than not have the tool that I need when I'm out there. Okay, moving on to like safety equipment and first aid. Always carry a spare lens for your goggles, a clear one, because if you're working out, you're going out in the day and you've got like a tinted lenses on, and it gets dark, something's gone wrong, you've had a puncture on the way back, and you're riding back in the dark, you'll need a clear lens. Hat, I always carry a hat, and then if you've got to, you're standing around for a length of time, you can actually, put a hat on, keep your head warm. Spare pair of gloves, all that inside a plastic bag. Mars bars and various things. Always have a couple of Mars bars in my pack. Leave them there for emergencies. Nothing worse than having, nothing to eat if you've been stuck out in the wilds for a while. On this side, first aid kit, nice waterproof container, plastic bags inside of that. Obviously painkillers of various types. We're lucky out here in Bulgaria, we can actually buy them, we can buy powerful ones that are far more powerful than the ones you get in the UK, which actually work and stop pain, which is an advantage. This is plasters and various dressings, sterile dressings, bandages, and you take as many or as little as you want to, really. I mean, if you're just riding by yourself, then you only need some big plasters, some tape, and perhaps a sterile dressing, just in case you get jagged in some way. This, believe it or not, is a little mirror. Okay, so if you get caught up in the mountains and you need to attract somebody's attention, then a mirror is the best way to do it, especially if there's a bit of sun in the sky. Another way of attracting people's attention with these mini flares. Okay, we got green, white, and red. Okay, and really, if somebody sees pop flares going up in the air, then they should go and investigate why. And if you're in the UK, especially, when you start popping up red flares, then that's a distress signal anyway. And these are a good little cheap kit, and this is the firing gun. You just screw them on the end and pop the rascals right off. No problem. Another dressing and some plasters, plenty of that. and I carry this stuff, which is like the white tape for stopping blisters on your hands. Alright, space blankets, absolute essential piece of kit. Nice and small, you can take these in your pockets and forget about them, and when you do need them, they work. Okay, they turn one way to keep you cool in the summer, to stop heat exhaustion, and then you turn them the other way and they'll keep you warm, and they do keep you warm. I've actually used these on many occasions to save my bacon. Lighter, goes without saying, carry a lighter, make sure it works, and keep it in a waterproof container. Alright, last but not least, good GPS. Okay, some sort of GPS system. This is a Montana. I use this mainly because it's got a big screen, but it's actually a brilliant piece of kit as well. You can use it for walking or riding the bike, but it works very accurately. And of course you can then relay. I was caught out in Romania, injured myself, and was able to relay the coordinates to the rescue team, and they found me. So it just proves that it works. So even if you're not guiding, it's handy to carry one of these with you. And that's about it. You can carry more than this and you can carry less than this, but if you're going out riding by yourself, then you need most of this gear if you're going to stand a good chance of riding and surviving well. Okay, thanks for listening.